still there? Still.
Yeah, he said she was doing now.
Yeah, just go to the central one.
Yeah.
That's what somebody was doing. He said, trying to take it away. But it was never planned. It was never in the house.
It's up to you. I think I'm gonna sit this over there. Pardon me, sweetie. Believe it or not, I'm trying to get it out of your right this way. Last time I had two ladies in front of me and I said, I should know my hair was gonna be such a feature of the film, and it's like, I didn't even think about that.
Putting his resolution numbers down.
Just microphones are more than anything. Yep. I didn't think of that one. Are these different? Oh, X.
Yeah.
That makes sense, doesn't it? I don't think you have any. Sorry. Just kidding.
I don't know you well enough to do that.
But you know me well, and you will.
Because of the director, I got you director, and they won't, they will keep but they need to keep that building, climate control. At least to some degree, that's what that is.
Slide down.
And that's what you're-
Want to slide down the chairs and see if extras?
Do you want to tell everybody about this correction when we first get started? Do you want me to? Correction is it's 0.0333. You ready?
7 o'clock, we'll get started here. On the agenda, there's one correction up there, the second line where it says .333, it's supposed to be .0333. I have a motion to approve September 18th meeting minutes. We need to read them, everybody has a copy of them.
Go ahead and read them, Mark.
Okay. Jackson Township Advisory Board meeting held September 18th at the Morgantown Fire Department. Those present were Bill Witt, Tom Carter, Mark Sixteen, Sean Spencer, and 44 citizens of Jackson Township that signed in. Meeting was called to order at 7:05 p.m. A motion was made by Mark Sixteen to approve the minutes of September 4th meeting. Tom Carter second, passed 2-0. Motion made by Mark Sixteen to adopt the proposed 2026 budget for Jackson Township, Morgan County. Tom Carter second, also passed 2-0. Discussion of the 2026 capital improvement plan for Jackson Township. This plan and the associated resolutions must be submitted to the state by September 30th, 2025. After much discussion, Mark Sixteen made a motion to table the adoption of the 2026 capital improvement plan to see if the Indiana Department of Local Government Finance and/or the State Board of Accounts will approve using the capital improvement plan surplus in place of the fire territory equipment replacement fund to help lower the tax rate. Tabled until tonight's meeting, September 25th. Tom Carter seconded. Motion passed 2-0. Motion was made by Mark Sixteen to table until September 25th, 2025, a resolution creating a road and infrastructure fund and the resolution to enter into a memorandum of understanding with Warren County and/or the town of Morgantown. Tom Carter seconded. Motion passed 2-0. Jackson Township trustee Bill Witt advised the advisory board that board member Jason Allen had resigned his position on the Jackson Township trustee advisory board. The Morgan County Republican Party chair will need to hold a caucus of the 3 Jackson Township Republican precinct committee members to select his replacement to serve the remainder of his term. Motion was made by Mark Sixteen to adjourn the meeting. Tom Carter seconded. Motion passed 2-0. Meeting was adjourned at 8:10 p.m. I move the minutes of the September 18th meeting be approved as written.
Second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We'll move on to the first item on the agenda. We need to read that.
I make a motion to amend the previously adopted 2026 budget to remove the .0333 tax levy for fire territory replacement equipment fund as it was previously voted on the budget. So we make that null and void, so we need to reevaluate the budget.
I so move. Do you have a second? Second. Mark
I
moved.
move.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Moving on to the next resolution. Make a resolution to transfer $500,000 from the Township General Fund to the Fire Territory Replacement Equipment Fund.
If doing so, if we do transfer this $500,000 from the Township General Fund to the Fire Territory Replacement Equipment Fund, we did speak to State Board of Accounts on it. They were fine with it and everything, as long as we did it by resolution. It will be used for the next 4+ years to replace that 0.333. A little over 4 years. It figures out to 4.4 years that it would cover for that. After that time, though, it would be necessary to reinstate it for that account to still accumulate funds for the replacement equipment. So, everybody okay on that?
Are you asking for it?
I personally am, yep.
Okay, now this money that the township is giving to the fire territory to buy equipment, that equipment still going to belong to the township?
Yes,
It will still belong to the township, not the fire department?
correct.
Okay.
Okay, you guys can do it.
Bill, do you know where that shakes out as far as the reduction in the The tax,
Yeah, take the 0.333 ends up, takes the rate to 0.2763.
just about 3 cents on it.
Mhm.
Okay.
We need a motion on that, right?
Certain, has our money already been collected?
The 500,000?
No, yeah,
Yes,
it has been.
yes.
So with this reduction, will we see a rebate?
No.
Or will it just carry over?
No, it will not be a rebate. They won't allow us to do that. Yeah, need a motion.
I so move to accept that
Resolution.
resolution.
Second. I do have a question again, if I can. Since that money has been collected and it's now in the coffers, is that part of the $500,000?
What, there now, is that part of
Yeah,
it?
what was just collected, is that included in this
No, the
$500,000?
$500,000 is currently in the general fund.
It's in the general fund?
Yes, and
So
it's
this
going to be transferred to the Fire Territory Equipment Replacement Fund.
So when you stated, if I may follow up, so when you stated that the 4.4 years, does that take into account the money you just collected for the engine replacement fund? You just.
Oh, no. Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Okay.
What was collected this last year for 2025 is already in that equipment replacement fund.
Okay.
The 113,000.
Okay,
The 500,000 we're transferring from general will take place of that for the next 4.4 years.
so when you say the next 4.4, is it after the replacement fund for this year?
This year's already,
After this year. Then the 500.
after this year.
So we could look at.
It'll kick
five-
in 2026.
So we could look at 5.4 years that the total replacement fund would be
No,
taken here? No.
no, because it'll kick in 2026. So that's the first year, and then for the next 4.4.
The 113 is for this
For
year
this
that's
year.
been collected.
Okay.
Yes,
The 500,000 starts next year.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Pause for just a moment, get some signatures.
Can I ask a stupid question? I'm not sure about all this 500,000 and 160, correct? What's it gonna do to my property tax? You're gonna reduce it in this case?
I'm sorry, sir, I could not hear you.
You know, I'm kind of stupid about all this, but 500,000 is gonna be transferred to 116 that's already been collected over the next 4.2 years. Are my taxes gonna go down, or are they gonna go up or stay the same?
It has reduced the rate approximately 3 cents by doing this from what it was going to be. This should go down some. I can't tell you how much, other than the 3 cents on the 100.
What are we being taxed now?
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be for next year's taxes.
Next
The
year's
3 cents
tax.
for next year's
Yes.
taxes. And next year's taxes are anticipated to go down anyhow, correct?
Anticipated, yes.
Okay. I should have used a different word.
That was not a dumb question, by the way.
No, it wasn't, there never is one. Okay.
Ready to move on?
Yep.
Next one, make a resolution to approve and adopt the 2026 capital improvement plan.
I got one other issue. Last time we met, we had a total of $637,000 on this list, the one list, and now it's $802,000. We still got the same number for 26, 27, 28. I think. Hang on.
It says they do 2 years worth that.
Yeah, the brush truck. The brush truck is added.
Last time we added up to 637.3.
Yeah, we added some more items onto that list. Like I say, those items are not cast in stone. We have to have projects listed.
It should be, I think he would just add up 602 instead of 802.
We added the brush truck.
We added one additional thing on there. We took away some and we added one.
Which one did you add?
The one that says brush truck.
200,000?
Yes. And like I say, these items, they are not cast in stone. This is just in order to keep us from having to give our monies that were collected here in the township to either the county or the town.
But you got $180,000 in there for fire hydrants, which you don't put in.
No, we don't.
Well, why is that in the budget?
It's in there just to have this money.
But you're taking away, you're taxing us for it, and damn it, we didn't vote for it. How can you do that?
This is,
No, tell me, I mean, is there a law or something that says that you four guys have the power to just whack us with taxes and no explanation whatsoever in the middle of the night? Come on, guys. This is 2025, I think it is.
what do you guys have on this one?
No.
Sure, so, my name's Glenn Cook, I'm a partner at 111 Coffee, a
Sure.
law firm here in
I've seen
Union
you over
County.
there, yeah.
Okay, so the capital improvement plan is somewhat of a new item. The governor signed a law that said that the items in the general fund, the rainy day fund, other types of funds that could be capital improvements, we have to put a plan together. Doesn't mean you're gonna spend the money. You have to have a plan for the next 3 years, and you have to submit it to the state. And if
Oh,
you
we're being taxed for it
if
today.
you don't know, this is a plan, it's perspective. It doesn't mean the money's actually gonna be spent.
If I could, that money's already in the township coffers. That's money that's already in there. We've been taxed for it, that's true.
Okay.
But it's not a future. They have to earmark it for something. The state's determined that if they don't put a name to it and say we might spend it on this, just like the brush truck or the air packs and things, they're assigning those earmarks to it so that if there isn't anything earmarked on it, then you have to take 30% and either give it to the town or the county, so the township loses it. So by putting these names on it, or kind of earmarking, it's not saying that we're gonna tax that amount. It's already in there, they're just saying what they're gonna use that money they already have for.
It has to be allocated to a location. If you leave it on the table, then the state takes it back and gives it to somebody else. They'll take our tax money.
And,
They've already collected from us, and they'll give it to somebody else.
and not only that, our maximum against the law, the deadline is September 30th. So we gotta approve this and get it to them.
So why are we collecting an absorbent amount of tax money, revenue, just to figure out what to do with it?
Exactly.
Because we've spent. Seriously, why?
This is the plan
Okay,
to earmark funds and let the state know what the proposed plan is. If later
I'm
on,
following you there.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm following you there.
yes,
And this plan is based on what you're gonna receive taxes from us.
and this is just a plan
Okay, I know it is,
of what
but
what could happen.
the reason our taxes went up is to supplement and pay for this plan.
No,
No.
No.
October 3rd meeting, this is
No.
actually a budget meeting.
that's not true.
Might be able to move on.
It-
Then where-
There will be
where's our
budgets.
mon- Where's
So
our
there-
money going
there will-
to then that's
the-
being taxed as?
there will be votes on budgets. That's when the money is being voted on to be spent, is the budget. This is just a prospective plan to let the state know what you're planning to do with the general fund and the rainy day fund for the next 3 years. If you end up not doing it, you're not gonna get punished for that. What you get punished for is not having a plan. Does that make sense?
Okay, it makes sense, but
this
What
what
about
they
all
do?
our tax increases that it's going to go to pay for this?
That can be talked about at the budget.
Yeah.
When you get time to talk, when you're gonna talk about the budget, that's when you, the time to voice those objections really is when you're talking about budget. This is just this is paperwork the state requires.
I understand, I understand.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, it
And if
does.
you don't send them this plan, you're gonna lose money.
I understand it.
Okay.
But the taxes that are being received from us is
Great
paying for all
question.
of this.
The appropriate time to raise those is really in the budget meeting question.
Now, when's that?
We're gonna meet October the 3rd.
October the 3rd.
7 PM here
7
again.
p.m.
Do we have a chance to get our taxes lowered then?
We can discuss a lot of things that night.
Well, I mean, is there a chance to, and
That is where we'll find it.
it is? Okay. Okay. I don't want to be wasting my time, your time. I just want to figure out a way that we can, all of us can get a tax, somehow. Because what's happened here, guys, is unfair to everybody that's in this room.
You certainly don't want to give the money away to somebody else.
No, I don't want to give it to you. That's where that is. Now, this
Shouldn't have
is my
taken
money. I don't want to give it to you guys. I'm all for fire department. I work for, a volunteer fire department. I raised money for them for 12 years in California. I know exactly where they come from, what it costs. It is expensive, but it's not that expensive. And we had one of the largest volunteer groups in the state of California. And so I just think what's happened here in the middle of the dark, in the middle of the night, that we all seen these car taxes shoot through the roof. And we didn't get voted. We had no say-so whatsoever.
No
And,
representation.
yeah, you can't.
We can talk
you
more
can't have
about that.
taxation without
We can talk more about that, but tonight, right now, we just need to get this resolution passed so we don't lose money from this, to the state.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Moving on to the next resolution.
Yeah.
Next resolution is make a resolution to create a road structure fund for capital improvement plan protocols.
Is that the paperwork, 25, the resolution 25-5?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I move we adopt resolution 25-5.
Second. All opposed, all for, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passed.
Question,
Just one moment, please.
does this mean that the state has put the responsibility for roads in our township on us instead of on them?
Nobody can explain. Nobody knows. We don't know.
It's just kind of a way to divert it, they keep their funds and divert it to us.
We're not 100% sure yet. I've heard 3 different reasonings behind it.
Who would do the work to maintain the roads?
Well, I believe the county would still do the work, but our taxes would be funding the projects just in our township. That's the way I gathered part of the information on it.
So then who chooses the project? Is it the state or the county or you?
There again, that's a question
You
up.
don't know.
Yeah,
This is brand new.
Yeah.
This is all this SB1.
Yeah, this county commissioners meeting, the gentleman that was up there said he didn't want to let a meeting go by without warning folks that you were going to be shocked with what your taxes were going to be in 2028. And that they were going to have to come to a decision on which bridges got inspected out of the ones that needed it and which roads got repaved. Like there was going to be some tough calls coming because they weren't going to have the funding, so. nobody knows how this is gonna shake out. They're still supposed to be doing edits to SB1, which is now SEA, the Senate Enrollment Act 1, so they're both on the same, I think, now. And nobody seems to know, which is why we need to be careful with what we do, because our taxes will be going up in 2028 to cover the monies that our local government won't be receiving from the state, right? I mean, isn't that at least the way everybody understands it?
That's the way I'm hearing part of it, yes.
Yeah. But there's gonna be a shortfall, and then we all have to make up for it with our fire departments, our schools, and roads.
Okay.
Just raise the gas tax again.
All in favor of
Question back.
So on this, is there gonna have to be another group that's going to be in charge of that? Or will you guys have to take it over, or do we even know?
We have no idea. Yeah, we have no idea on that yet. We just know we have to have this paperwork
Right.
filed,
Right.
or we stand the chance of losing funding.
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor? Or make a motion to accept this resolution.
The 25-6.
And on the infrastructure.
The infrastructure.
Mhm.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Is that it?
Did you just vote on 5 or 6?
Wait a minute.
They already voted 5, and they voted 6.
Okay.
I forgot to hand, I forgot to hand 5 to you. That was 25-6, that's the one we just did. So we're down
On to the ISO explanation.
Yep. Yep. I guess you guys are up.
Luke Manzik, Assistant Chief Morgantown Fire. Through the last meeting, there was a lot of questions brought up about ISO. This has nothing to do with the township budget and things. I can only speak for the 50% of the fire department side, but I sort of want to run how through this works in simple terms and in a very not so simple system. So ISO is your classification for your homeowner insurance. Right now, we're currently at 10, everyone knows that. How ISO comes about is there's 3 different parts. Our department has 50% of the score, water has 40%, and our dispatching system, which is through Morgan County Dispatch Center, has 10%. Through that, the fire department gets graded on a whole bunch of things. We grade on how many engines we have, how many tankers we have, hose, personnel, our run times, all of these things that come into play. Stations, where those stations are at. ISO wants you to be within 5 road miles of a station. How we got from a 7 to a 10 is very simple to explain. Back in 17, Morgan County EMS took over as our ambulance service for the entire county, besides like 2 other departments up north in the county. At that time, we currently had 2 staffed EMTs at this station with an ambulance. What we did is through the trustee and the chief at the time was Quinn Chapman, They came to us and said, we're gonna provide ALS ambulance service for everyone. We're like, perfect, that's great, because we're right now providing EMTs, we're gonna provide paramedics, that's fantastic. Through that, the only way for us to keep an ambulance in our township, or a paramedic ambulance, through the county, was if they kicked out our fire trucks at Station 2, and they took over the entire Station 2 at Painted Hills. What that does, and along with that, when we lost the ambulance, we lost the money for staffing. So we went back from, we had 2 paid staff, now we're 0. So our audit, our ISO audit, guess what? We lost huge points because our run times went from a minute or 2 to 10 minutes, or maybe not going out the door. We went from paid staff to volunteer. We went from having 2 stations to 1. That was out of our hands, and that was the only way we could get a paramedic ambulance in this township, which is better than a BLS ambulance. Since then, there has not been an audit since then, and what happens when you turn into a 10 is the auditor does not come to you for 10 years. They will never come back and request an audit. The fire department, or the town, or the dispatch center has to request an audit. We did not request an audit because nothing changed. Volunteers had stayed the same. We didn't have staffing. We didn't have Station 2 back. Clint Chapman, our chief, was able to get an engine back at Station 2. What that does is now, besides a couple houses on the very south and the very north side, we're gonna have the entire township covered by 5 road miles. That is huge for homeowner insurance. And if you don't believe me, ask your insurance agents. That is huge. We're gonna have 3 staff, 2 totally volunteer. Our run times are less than 2 minutes out the door. Huge. We're gonna have training. Couldn't get volunteers to training, so you can't hold someone accountable you don't pay. Because they just won't show up, and that's just how it works.
Well,
That
that's
is how-
volunteering as well. When you're paying
Correct.
someone, you can hold them accountable. It's a big thing there.
So again, on the water side, they've turned a bunch of paperwork going over hydrants, and along with that, part of the problem is the town is our only water source for hydrants. Brown County Water supplies, I would say, 90% of the rest of the water hydrants in our township. They, what I would call, hold those hydrants hostage, where they have a meter pit, or they have a pit in front of each hydrant, and they keep it shut off. So even if there's a hydrant from Brown County Water sitting right in front of your house, that hydrant is shut off. So guess what? And they, because they're a private corporation, they're allowed to do that. They're a for-profit corporation, they're allowed to do that. So the only hydrants that we have that we can turn in for ISO is in town. And that is a huge problem, and us and Brown County Fire Departments have tried to fix that issue with Brown County Water. And they basically say, well, here's a hydrant here, here's one there, and you can have 2 hydrants for your entire area.
You have a question?
Yeah, as far as the water goes, so you guys aren't allowed to go with the Painted Hills water either? Are they the same as Brown County?
They have a few hydrants. They mainly just have dry hydrants, so they have just a couple hydrants throughout Painted Hills. And their water flow and their other things, and again, I'm not an expert on the water side of things. I'm more involved in the fire department side, but.
Those dry hydrants, we check every so often, and we can draft out the lake. I mean, that is our source, but what he's getting at is the point system. We don't get a lot of points in the water, is what he's saying, with everything that he said so far.
So with that, what we've done is we have our staffing back, we have Station 2 back. What we're doing is, John Beard, who is our ISO auditor, gave us till October 3rd to have all our paperwork turned in. October 3rd, we're gonna have all this paperwork turned in, our training, our run sheets, our times, Station 2, all this. Sometime in October, he will come out, he'll have a hands-on visit, we'll go through everything, and then we're going to also do a tanker shuttle. What that does is, it basically takes place for the rest of the township that doesn't have hydrants. If we can flow 500 gallons per minute for 2 hours and keep that, it basically, in their eyes, they view that as through mutual aid and other contracts that we can provide enough water for a fire, and they would consider that hydrated, even though it's technically not. So along with that, talking with John Beard, the worst thing about this is everything takes time. He said by the end of Thanksgiving, he'll have everything turned in. And he said whenever he turns into his company that does that, the auditing, he said that possibly the latest we can get a new score could be July. So that just needs to be made clear that the latest we could see, we may not see a new score until July, and that is out of our hands. There's nothing we can do to speed that process up. All we can do is everything on our end to make it better.
Another big thing we've done is hose testing. That's something we've not got points for in the past. We even had our paid guys today hose testing this morning, right out front here. Some of y'all that walk through town might have seen that. That's why we were doing that. We have to do that for ISO, and that helps get us extra points as well.
Have your pumps tested?
Yes,
Every year.
yes, every year.
Every year.
I hate to ask, but is a 7 better than a 10 or a 10 better than a 7?
So the scale goes from 1 to 10. The lower the number, 1 is better. 10 is
Okay, so
10 is
the
the
10 was not.
Yes,
What
correct.
are you guys shooting for as far as number goes, now that you've got the other stations?
So we were
Yeah, the cost of the
a
other station.
7, so
So
we'll
you wanna
easily
go back
get
to
to a
a 7?
I'm
7.
trying to get back to 7.
I don't want to promise anything lower than that, but I
Right.
truly think we can do better.
With our on-duty crews and us working diligently with the hose testing, the amount of ladders we have on each truck, we get points for that too. With the pumps being tested every year since before 2017, since our last audit, that all helps with the points. So we're hoping for better than 7, but we're shooting for 7.
And then on the new budget, as far as the brush truck goes, where would that sit, at this station or at the station at Van Hill?
It would most likely say. The second engine is a station to station.
Okay.
This pertains to, I was gonna ask Bill and the board, what's the lease situation like? You know, these guys were shut out at Station 2 because they had an unfriendly EMS director, I guess, was, what can the township do through the lease or whatever to assure that they don't get shut out again?
Well, we're gonna revisit that once we get all this taken care of, because we currently don't have a lease with them.
There's no lease with them?
Correct.
So it's yours?
Yep,
Who's paying the light bill out there?
they are. They're paying all the utilities plus mowing the grass,
Who is they?
but Morgan County EMS.
Okay.
But the township owns the building.
Correct.
Painted Hill still own the land?
No,
You,
the
or township? does?
township does.
Okay.
But you guys, I mean, you could get rough with them if you had to, right? I mean,
So how does that work? If they're just paying the bill, but we own the property, or the township owns the property, how can you kick somebody out? If I pay my power bill, I don't get to stay in my house. They're gonna kick me out.
Because we
they're
did
paying
have,
mortgage.
we had a lease, the dollar, proverbial old dollar lease on it, and it has expired. I just have not had the time to sit down with them, and now that they don't have a, I don't know what his title was, a county manager or whatever, I'm gonna have to speak with one of the commissioners about it, and say, we need to get on the agenda, we need to get this reconfigured.
If you put provisions in that these guys,
We're gonna have
Take
priority.
priority.
They're gonna have priority.
yeah,
And if you need our support to show up to any of those meetings, I mean, of course, we
Yeah.
would like to know about those meetings, you know that.
Yeah.
But we can definitely show some support.
I think I can speak with one commissioner, take care of it pretty simply.
You know, at the time, we lost our ambulance that we ran here. We were running it as volunteers. And our biggest fear was not having one at all. So that was the decision we made, you know, all of us. I don't know who was on the township board at the time, but we all collectively made that decision. Hey, let's work with the county, get an ambulance here, ALS, paramedic, and it's worked great. But yeah, we've just now been able to get a truck back in there.
Are they a county unit, Clayton, or are they a private company?
They are a county unit.
They're a county unit?
Yes, yeah. Which, I mean, we pay for as well.
Yeah,
Our taxes
yeah,
as
no,
well.
absolutely.
Yes,
You
yes,
guys
absolutely.
do.
Yes, they are a county unit.
They are building a new building over by Centerton,
Yes.
and then they found out that it's gonna cost them $2.5 million to put a crossover on the highway. That was some really good planning by our government.
Well, I can't, they're building one in Paragon too, though, as well. I mean,
It's not
other
gonna
counties
cost them
building-
$2.5 million
Yeah.
for the road improvements on 67.
Yeah.
I've got two questions. Number one, when you go out to the hinterlands for a fire with your tankers, do you have a reservoir that you set up and fill it? And
Dump
then you
tank.
come back, you don't tank?
We have a dump tank that we carry on our tanker truck. It folds down. It's just a big pool.
Okay.
And it's got dumps on each rear side and the very back. We can dump that truck. One person can run that truck, dump water, go refill, come back. Ours is a 3,000 gallon tanker. Green Township has a 3,000 gallon tanker. Washington Township has a 2,000 gallon tanker. And our run streams, they are immediate response with us on that as well.
And then the second question was, which was in my head someplace, but I don't know. It's running around someplace. Never mind. had to do
How much
with
fiber
tankers.
as well? How much fiber's tanker?
It's free.
It's 3 as well. So we definitely have a lot of water coming. Supposed to, yeah.
We could be a 7 without a hydrant.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. Do you have any contracts or verbal agreements? Because most of the land around here has a lot of ponds. Do you have any contracts to be able to go in and use the water out of ponds?
From like specific homeowners or anything?
Yeah.
We do not.
No, if the homeowner themselves has a pond and their house is on fire, it's gonna use, so.
Yeah, but with all the ponds around, you couldn't, talk to them and say, hey, if we've got a fire out here, can we draw from your pond?
It's still gonna be faster just to use tankers to
Is
shore
it?
work. Because
Yeah.
we have 4 of them coming on every single fire.
Okay.
And that's almost 12,000 gallons of water, so.
Usually on most fire scenes, what we also do is, like if it's our fire, he's just his chief, he assumes command, he will assign maybe Green Township with the water shuttle. We'll call it the water shuttle, and they'll have a separate channel, and they work that out for us. So we have 2 operations going on at the same time on radio channels. That's what we normally do. And when there's been times we've set up in Painted Hills, pulling out of the pond, out one of the dry hydrants, and of course you dedicate an engine or something to that, they fill the tankers and keep them going. They just keep making rounds. Does that make sense? Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering, how is that financed? Do you reimburse the other township, or is it just?
We have mutual aid.
We have mutual aid agreements.
Mutually?
Yes, is what it's called.
So
Yeah.
we call them for help and they call us for help. And
So if this happens, you get a new score, how do all of us know so we can tell our insurance company? Because I know ours went up $800.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Let me think about
Your
it.
insurance did or your taxes?
The insurance.
How much your taxes went up?
Can I make a comment on homeowners
This is on the
insurance?
first year. and-
Fire
This is
pay
the
very
first
little
tax. Right, so I don't know
increase in
yet.
fire. Insurance companies pay for roofs, floodplains, wind, and damages like that, or somebody trips and falls. Fires are really low on the scale of fire, or our insurance companies. My insurance company, the taxes I'm paying now, the increase, my insurance is not gonna make a dent in it.
No.
It's not gonna make a dent, because the insurance companies don't care about, they care about roofs. Now, if you look at Florida and some of the other states, the insurance companies are moving out of there. Not by fire, but with roofs and fires, roofs and all that, and settlement foundation. Fire plays a very low,
So to answer your question, when we get awarded whatever our score is, we'll put it out there on our social media page and just try to get it out there for everyone so they can contact their insurance agents.
Is that like the fire department one or
the fire department.
Fire department one, we can talk to the township, as long as township trustees don't put it on the website, we'll get it out there.
well, thank you.
And most of our insurance, I'd say the big insurance agents around here have already contacted us because of the score, so those phone numbers are saved and they've already said, as soon as you get a new score, basically let us know so we can start working on that.
and you actually think they're gonna call us up and say, hey, I want to go over.
Nope, that's why we need to call them.
But they're not gonna go over your insurance. You know, I'm curious.
If they are, it's only gonna be a couple $100, and they.
Yeah,
It ain't gonna be the 974 that mine went up.
It's not gonna make a dent.
Yeah, I mean, it's all great, and I do.
And I love what you
appreciate
guys
that,
do,
but-
you know, I wanna kiss you in the butt and everything else when you pull up in my house. You know what I mean? I really am, and I want to thank you for it. But that's, in the whole scheme of things, that is so low of a percentage, if that's gonna happen. It doesn't pay
So that is something we can do to make things better.
And that's what we're working on.
But it's not.
When it went from 7 to 10, we got a lot of people saying their insurance is way up. So,
There's other reasons for insurance.
oh, absolutely, yes, I agree, and I'm not an insurance agent, so I don't know.
Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you.
What's that?
I said thank you for all you're doing.
Okay.
There are,
We need to move on.
can't get insurance right now.
We need to move on.
There's some change there.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
There, actually, for the got denied insurance, they had to shop shop around and buy the council, buy it.
Is there any new business?
Yeah, there's probably other
They
reasons.
almost did sign on their mortgage. They almost-
New business, so this is gonna, what you've done tonight pretty much ties up that money and protects it. Okay, that's what it looks like, so I just wanna make sure that not, there's nothing loose out there.
Is there anything that's being left, like intentionally, or, like, I'm not saying, like, is there anything that's being left?
There's a little bit, yes. Oh, I'm trying to remember.
I'm not even asking for an amount, but like,
There is some that could possibly be vulnerable, however, we think, they're gonna look at that and go, yeah, you're not worth it.
okay.
But
Or I mean.
we can
obviously
still
take care of
justify
enough.
what is there
Yeah, okay.
by the fact of, we still don't know what 2026 is gonna bring.
Yeah.
And we don't know what 2027 or any of that. Just this whole crazy plan for 3 years on something that's, we don't know.
Yeah, 3 years is a long time to get.
Yep.
If there's no more new business, the budget meeting is October 3rd, 25.
Yep, 2025, to approve and advise.
25 here.
Is it 7?
7 PM.
Just so everybody knows.
That's where you bring your budget complaints. Is number 3 what you're gonna levy, or is it number 2? On your notice of tax bills?
Wait a minute.
It says 1,053,000 or 921. What's the levy gonna be?
Which page are you on budget form 4?
The notice to taxpayers, which ironically we didn't get.
Excuse me? It says budget estimate and maximum estimated funds to be raised.
Budget,
Which one are we looking at?
we're looking at,
Number 2 or number 3?
number 2 is what we would be allowed to spend. It would be approved by the state to spend up to that amount.
Right.
Number
When are you gonna levy?
3 would be the levy.
That's what they think they're gonna spend.
921. We don't like number 2.
No, I don't think anybody likes number 2, Alan.
You voted for it.
No, I didn't.
But, like I say, we're gonna discuss that more on the 3rd.
You guys haven't gone to the Gateway website, you can sign up to get these email notifications, I didn't know that. So you can sign up for the township, for the county and all of that. That way you can actually get the notice.
Right in the top box where it says www budget notices, .in.gov.
Thank you.
I've signed up for that, I'll send it right to you, to your email address.
Thank you.
I move that we adjourn.
Second. One other thing before we do, please.
Say aye.
And just for people that are here, pick the ball and run with it. I did some case studies on some of this stuff. And Fairfield and Wabash, 2022, they summarized what the case studies were. But the outcome was that the state legislature was promoted to pass a new law creating a formal removal process for township trustees who abuse their power, strengthening the oversight. So if somebody wants to pick that up, you do a little bit of research on it. So that, I'm still angry about what's taking place here. And I think there needs to be more oversight. I think you guys overstepped your bounds. And I think you should pay for that.
That's your opinion. My opinion at the time was I want to provide fire protection for the citizens of this township, and this was the best way that we could come up with to do that.
In the middle of the night.
If we didn't do it in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief,
Yeah.
every state law currently on the books was followed.
You got minutes for the meeting?
Yes, we got minutes for the meeting.
You got memoranda for those 3 meetings?
Yes, they've been
No,
published
you
all
don't.
along.
You do not have memoranda for those 3 meetings.
They have been published. You've got a post-dated, memoranda, something of the 4 meetings. Those are post-dated. You guys did not, you guys had a quorum, so don't tell us that you followed the law, because you did. You did follow the law. You had a quorum, you never seconded the meetings.
It was
You
a
did not
presentation.
follow the law.
It wasn't a meeting, it was a presentation.
So a hearing is a meeting. A hearing is a meeting.
It wasn't a hearing either, it was a presentation.
There were 3 hearings.
It was a presentation.
3 hearings, and they were,
And
you had to do 3 hearings.
And we did it.
Okay, so then it was a
presentation.
It was a hearing.
It was a public hearing. There's a difference in a public hearing and a legislative body hearing. It was a public hearing, and it had public notices for the public hearing. It was notified in the paper just like the law says.
they have to maintain that.
I got a copy of the GLGF letter, and I know what it says.
If we're talking about following laws, it was submitted by the fire department.
That don't mean nothing.
That's not following the
That
law.
doesn't mean nothing. That doesn't mean, show it to me in the law.
Oh, I can do it.
Go get it. That's what I thought.
Did you second it? Did you second the motion to adjourn?
I did.
We attended as members of the public, and we have to give notice because there was 5 others present at a public hearing. That's exactly what happened.
Nobody knew about it.
Nobody knew about the public hearing, it was advertised in the paper.
What paper?
What paper?
What paper?
There's
no letters.
There's a reason why the town.
There's a local paper that is required. Go talk to your legislator about the law.
You did, but not more.
Exactly right.
Okay, by the
Legislators about the law.
You did it by the law, but not more than right.
It's more than by law. Not to obey, to obey the law, not more than right. How do you know what they're talking about? They need more than right, so you have to obey the law. Yeah, keep rocking. Hey, and, you guys might want to hear that. I'll have these if you guys talk. I'll have these if you guys talk.
No. Wait.
So he's throwing his weight around.
Yeah, I'll throw my weight around.
He thinks he is.
I will, you know, there's no fact to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Glenn Cook. I'm Glenn Cook.
So it's a responsibility.
You're president. It's good to see you. Have you guys met Dale yet? Dale yet? Okay, because he's the main guy. I was called in.
Dale's fine.
That's the fire company.
Dan, probably.
Yeah, that's right. I mainly do criminal defense.
I was fire.
I know.
Yeah, I came in when I was
I know it doesn't matter.
I grew up
I know that, my neighborhood, citizens water actually run down, they've got